Honey, I'm home!
Hi, dear! Let me get a jacket for you!
Here you go. Quick, let's go.
How was work today?
Oh, you know, the usual. Nothing special. Now, where's that dinner?
Oh, right here! Doesn't it look really good?
It looks appetizing. Darn. Let's give this a try. Oh! What is this garbage? Go make me a sandwich.
I'm sorry,
That's disgusting. I work all day to come to junk.
What would you like on it?
The usual. Make it quick. I'm hungry. And learn to make food now. It's garbage.
Okay. Does that satisfying?
That looks good. Now give me a drink. Let's go quick.
Okay.
Hello, madam. How can I help you today?
I would like a job working at the ammunition factory to help out for the war.
But you're a woman.
But I've heard you need people because all the men have gone for the war.
That's true. Can I see your qualifications, please?
Oh, right here.
Let's see. Cooking.
Yeah?
Cleaning.
Yeah?
And knitting.
Yeah, and raise 3 wonderful children.
Ma'am, do you think that's going to help you in a factory where one error could mean life or death?
Probably not, but you can help me and train me.
If only we had more men.
Please, sir, I need this job.
Okay, fine. You will get paid 10 cents an hour for 12 hours a day.
10 cents? How is that going to help? I have to raise 3 kids with that. And my husband makes 50 cents.
Yes, but your husband's the head of the household and you are a woman. What do you expect? Now, if you want the job, be here Monday. If not, you can leave.
Okay, I guess that's okay. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, then goodbye, madam.
Okay, bye.
1914 to 1939 was a grim year for women. Many women saw themselves as housewives and mothers. Some women expanded on these roles by becoming journalists for national newspapers. The editors expected these women to talk about sewing, knitting, and cooking. Kathleen Coleman, on the other hand, rejected that stereotype, and she went on to Cuba to report about the Spanish-American War. But when the Cuban weather caused the men to take off their shirts, Kathleen was stopped by the army because the army thought it would not be appropriate for a woman to see a bare-chested man. Coleman still went on to reporting about the Spanish-American War, and she reported about the hardships of the troops. Work conditions during this era were not good for women either. Many telephone operators went on strike asking for 6-hour-day jobs and higher wages. A few days later, these strikes would break off and none of the demands would be met. Women also played a huge role in World War I. Many women took the place of labor instead of men. Women assisted as farmers and did office work. Many women also went to munition factories, and over 30,000 women would work at one time. Men did not like this because they thought women did not have the suitable hands to do that type of work. They thought women belonged in the home and not in the workforce. Women also joined organizations to improve women's rights, property protection rights, and child welfare. This brings us to the final thing, which is the Persons case. The Persons case involves Emily Murphy, who was appointed to be the first police officer in Alberta. She was challenged on the behalf that she is not a person, cannot do her job. According to the BNA Act in the 1800s, the word persons is used to describe many other people, and the word he is described to use one person. So the meaning she is not a person. Emily Murphy, along with 4 other women, with the help of Mackenzie King, went to England's highest court to fight this case. Finally, they declared the word persons in the BNA Act meant women and men. Now women could be summoned in court and they could run for Senate. It started off rough, but it ended well. Thank you.
Working here is tough, but I guess it's worth it. I really need the money. Uh-oh, I'm gonna be late. I have to go home and make supper. Bye, girls. Bye.
Honey, I'm home. Honey? Hello?
Hey, dear.
Oh, where have you been?
At the ammunition factory, helping out for the Second War.
Since when have you been working?
For the past few days now.
Oh my God. Okay, take my jacket.
Okay.
Okay, what's for dinner?
Oh, I was out of it. I didn't make any.
What? There's no dinner?
No.
Oh my
What would
God.
you like for dinner?
Make me a sandwich.
Oh, all I have is toast.
Toast? Oh, I guess I will do.
Okay.
So you've been working, huh?
Yeah.
How much do you make?
30 cents.
That's 2/3 of what I made. Okay, come on, hurry up. I'm starving.
Okay. Is this good?
That looks delicious. Now give me a drink.
Okay, okay.
From 1939 to 1967 was overall a good era for women. For example, women's rights and gender equity issues were often in the news. On April 25, 1940, the women of Quebec won the right to vote and run for office, and in 1941, women were given the right to enlist in the Canadian Army, and by the end of the war, 45,000 women signed up. The government started sending out the first family allowance on baby bonus checks, and Canada joined the UN, and the Charter of the UN was the first agreement to proclaim gender equity as a fundamental human right. By 1956, the federal government passed a law granting women equal pay for doing identical work as men, and the Canadian Bill of Rights was accepted. By the end of 1961, women made about 30% of the Canadian workforce, but only made 2/3 of what men did. The United Nations adopted the Declaration of Elimination of Discrimination Against Women in 1967. All around, like I said, this is a good era for women because they got more rights and got paid better, and they were treated with more respect. Thank you.
Dear? Are you home?
Yup, I'm here, honey.
What are you doing home?
I was off work, so I thought I'd make us some lunch. Kids are at school, we can enjoy ourselves.
Oh, that looks really good.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, how's work?
Work's good. Not for the salary. I don't make as much as you.
That's great. That's why I have to show you something real quick.
What is it?
Take a look at that new TV.
Wow, that's so nice.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Now that you work, we can afford it.
Yeah, and I like to help with the kids too.
Life's great.
Yeah. Yay!
1968 to 1999 was overall a pretty good era for women. Women in the 1970s had a much easier time than ever before. Women could enter any profession of their choice without much problems. Since a lot of unions were made, women were paid very well. The number of women in unions increased by 4 times than ever before in 1976. Almost half the women in Canada were working and were paid well by the end of 1979. Still, many women played dual roles as mothers and workers because of the lack of childcare and the cost of childcare. Single families with female heads were 3 times as likely to end up in poverty than single families with male heads. In this era, only 29.4% of women were making over $13,000 a year, compared to the 74.8% of men making $13,000 a year. Women could now legally negotiate for their children in divorce and get a fair share of money and property since they were now considered working-class society members. Manitoba stopped firing women for taking marriage or pregnancy leave, and females could now work after marriage and past the age of 32 in 1978. On to you, Siraj.
Okay, in 1984, Canada got its first female Governor General, John Solvay, and just 4 years later, the Supreme Court of Canada rules Canada's abortion law as unconstitutional. In 1989, the NPP elected Audrey McLaughlin as the leader of the party. She was the first female to become leader, and her supporters shouted, "We have made history!" The year 1997 sees a young woman have her conviction for walking topless on a hot day overturned by the Ontario Court of Appeals. A short 3 years later, in 2000, lieutenant governors in 7 Canadian provinces, BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and the Governor Generals of Canada were all women. In conclusion, the issues of women's rights and gender equity are significant because improvements in gender equity and the way women are perceived in our society might be the politically correct thing to do, but there is now proof that when men and women are treated equally, it benefits society because economies usually grow more quickly, and the people that are financially secure are able to improve the situations faster, and that in general families have a better quality of life.
Thank you for enjoying our presentation. If you didn't like it, find the exit to you. Goodbye. Leave. Bye. Honey, I'm home.
Hi, dear. Let me get your jacket for you.
Here you go. Hello, madam. How can I? You smiling?
Working here is tough, but I really need the money. Uh-oh! I gotta get home and make supper for honey! Where?
Since there were a lot of unions made, many women got paid very well. The number of women in unions increased by 4 times in 1976 than ever before. Almost half the... What the hell? Why'd you drop your sheet?
Oh, you fuck.